Here it is. That's today. Hey, good morning. Well, it's morning when I'm recording this. Anyway, it's May 30th. And I'm going to stock my pond. Yeah, back there, I've got a little half-acre pond. And when I moved to this property 10 years ago, we stocked it with some catfish, some bluegill, and some bass, some minnows. Of course, they got to eat something, right? And a lot of people around here say minnows. And minnows. And anyway, I fished it and stuff, but had storm, and after my wife passed away, I didn't fish much. And in 2023, we had a terrible, terrible drought. And I tell you what, I could have walked across the middle of my pond and hardly got my ankles wet. And the deepest part of the pond, which is kind of over in the corner, I might not even got my knees wet. Well, I thought I lost all the fish. I certainly lost all my catfish, because catfish don't reproduce well in small ponds. So what the catfish you put in there is the catfish you got. But this spring, been doing a little fishing. My son's been doing a little fishing, and he's caught 3 or 4 bass out of it. And we've caught a little mess of bluegill. There's not a lot of bluegill in there, not like there used to be. But as far as surviving the drought, well, we know at least 2 bass survived the drought, and at least 2 bluegill survived the drought. But there's no catfish in it, so I'm gonna go buy 100 catfish, put in there some minnows, and I might pick up some bass too. Thought you might want to come along and see how we do when we. Yeah, I got a lot of junk I got to clean up back there. Anyway, see how we do as we stock my pond. Right. Well, the feed store is way over there, but this is Arkansas Pond Stockers, and the fish truck is here, and I'm going to get my catfish. Well, the various fish species are in those different tanks here on the truck. I'm not going to show the fellow's face, but he just dips them out, and everything's getting the minnows there. I already got my catfish. Well, there's my catfish in the bag. There's my minnows. All right, so I put the catfish down in that cooler, and it's not too hot yet this morning. We're just gonna leave the minnows there till I make the 15-minute trip back home to my house, and then we'll get these fish acclimated and into my pond. 85.25 was the total. 100 catfish and a pound of flathead minnows. They didn't have any extra bass. He said they had one of those tanks on the truck go out on them last night, and they lost some fish. All they got is enough to fill the orders they got until they get some more delivered to them. So anyway, get some catfish in my pond, and maybe next year I'll be able to pull some out. So Niels, and they make a livestock feed here, but they don't make catfish feed or dog food, but that's what I'm coming in to buy, because I need to get some catfish feed to feed these catfish with. Bought some catfish food and some dog food. Just got a new dog from the pound the other day, plus my old dog Waldo, because my dog Jake died back in January. They gave me a 50-cent piece. Look at that and change. All right, hand the man the slip, and they're gonna load me up. Right there. All of it's up in there. All right, so I spent $85 on 100 little catfish and a pound of flathead minnows for the catfish and the bass and the bluegill to eat. And I spent $73 on dog food and catfish food, floating fish food for the pond. The dog food was $39, $40 or something like that. So whatever, I don't know how many pounds there are, but they loaded me up. And I'm going back to stock the pond. Now, if you stick around to this video, I think I might introduce you to the newest member of my family. My son and I picked her up from the pound yesterday. Her name is Mia, and she's my new girlfriend, and she's 4-legged and furry. And Waldo, my dog Waldo, y'all seen Waldo in my cooking videos on Big Lou Barbecue. He's been lonely since my old dog, my old black lab, Jake. Jake was my best friend. I had Jake for about 15 years, and he kicked the bucket last January, and now it's June. As a school teacher, I'm off work for a few months, so, well, I got a little job, but I'm home a lot this time of year, more than I am during the school year. So I got time to deal with getting a new dog acclimated. Anyway, Mia is a 3-year-old cur mix, as said. She's got a lot of mountain cur in her. Not real familiar with mountain curs. I always wanted the Catahoula cur, which is Louisiana state dog, but quite a different dog than what this dog is. This is the mountain cur. They're popular up in Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, places like that. But she's about 30 pounds, and she is just precious, 3 years old. So stick around in the video, and I'll show her it. And I've got about a 15-minute drive to get back to my house. and put these fish in my pond. Oh, come on. They're working on a pipeline up here, and I've been stuck here about 5 minutes, and I got stuck by the train. These fish are only supposed to be alive in these bags for 15 minutes. Oh, and I stopped and got the fish food and the dog food. Maybe I should have done that first. Come on now. At least they're letting some of us go. They got these pipelines they're working on all around here, and man, I need to get these fish in my pond. Been about 15-20 minutes since I got the fish. No, I'm sorry, it's been about 25 or 30 minutes since I got the fish, and they only guarantee them for about 15 minutes in those bags. I'm supposed to kind of keep them cool too. What I got to do is get some water into the thing, and then kind of temper them, and then put them in the pond. So let me dip that cooler down there and get some water, and we'll get them going. They appear to mostly still be alive, I think. Minnows are certainly swimming. All right, I told you y'all might get to meet my new, that's Waldo. He's been a member of the family since 2016. Jake, buried way over there. He died, I had him 15 years. He died in January. And this sweetheart right here, we picked her up from the pound just yesterday. So we're trying to get her used to the new climate and new territory, and she is just a darling sweetheart. Dot. Look at her. She's still cowering. The pound got her in December. It's now May, late May, almost June. So anyway, say hello to the camera, Mia. That's the deepest part of the pond, and it probably got down to just about 2 feet or something during the drought. This old pier got torn up in a tornado back in 2019, and I really need to get it repaired, but we don't use it anymore. All right, so I got some pond water. I'm gonna acclimate these fish and minnows to the pond water, and they don't get shocked, and then we're gonna cut them open and let them go in there. Eli thinks the little catfish are cute, so we're just gonna put them in there like that and let them kind of acclimate a little bit. I'm just gonna put the minnow bag right there on the edge of the water a little bit. Let them kind of get used to it. Get used to the temperature. All right, I'm gonna let them go into this bucket. Bag. I'm gonna swim into this cooler bucket thing. Come on out of there, buddy. Get out the bag. They're moving down in there. They're moving down in there. Yes, indeed they are. Catfish are really starting to get active now as the warmer water, because that water they're in is kind of cold. Now I'm gonna do the same with the minnows, and I'm gonna put them in here. So I'm getting all the minnows in. All right, we had a dead minnow floating. He ain't moving very well, but the cats are starting to go well and everything. And so instead of shocking them, that one's ready to eat. So we're gonna go ahead and dump them in our pond. Here at the edge of the pond, what I'm gonna do is just dump them on in. And there they go. They're all in the pond. Nope, that one's not. Let's kick him in. Get in there, Minnow. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. That cat don't know where he wants to go. Well, I thought that little one right there was dead. He just started to move. He's still here in the weeds. Maybe he'll get acclimated. His gills are moving. Where's he at? Right there. His gills are moving. But anyway, all the others swam on off out into the pond. So, got cats in here, and maybe next year I'll be able to eat some of them. Putting fish food. So let's put some of this in there. All right. They're starting to kind of hit the food. They're little bitty though. Probably can't see it on the camera, but you can see them starting to hit it. So this is that afternoon. We put them in the morning around 9:30 this morning, and now it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. but they're little bitty, but you can kind of see them hitting. When they get a little bit bigger, they'll be gulping it. All right, well, now it is June 16th, and it's been about 2 weeks, and I've been feeding them every evening and sometimes twice a day in the mornings. And it's morning, it's actually around about 9:30 a.m. On June 16th. And I'm gonna throw in some fish food, and I want you to see how they're getting a little bigger. Of course, some of the fish you see that hit this are gonna be the bluegill, and the minnows kind of come up and pick at it a little bit. I don't ever see the bass, but my son's caught a few bass, and I got one the other day using my Abu Garcia Vengeance combo and Rebel Popar right over there. Pulled them out of the weeds, and so I think we got 3 or 4 bass in here because the bass I caught already had a hook injury in his lip, so we had already caught him once. There's not very many bass. I'm gonna put some more bass in here in August. All right, I really shouldn't be out here on this old pier, but there's a few places where I feel like it's safe to walk. So this old cheese container here, and I'll throw out the stuff and see if we can get some catfish to come up and eat here. Yep, there they are. Can you see them? They're getting bigger. They're getting bigger, and some of those are little bluegill, but a lot of those are those little cats. Can you see them? Right over there. Probably can't see them with my phone camera too well in the sunlight. When I'm using my polarized sunglasses, I can see them pretty well. But they're getting bigger. There's a bluegill there, but there's some catfish and they're hitting it. Wish I could show you them getting bigger at it. Some right down here. No, those are just minnows. But they're coming for that fish food. All right. I'm gonna try to catch me a gill. Caught a mess of gill out of here the other day. And what this is Zebco Dock Demon. And I used to have, I never used the plastic reel that came on it. Used to have a Zebco 11 on it. I've had this for years. Earlier this year, my son was using the Zebco 11, lost the back somewhere down here in the pond. So I replaced it recently with a Zebco 33 Micro, which is formerly the 11, updated a little bit. Yeah, the cats are hitting it. I do have a bird that comes out here. There's a crane out here in the mornings. I saw him this morning, but I didn't get it picked before I got my camera out. He had flown off. I'd spooked him off. And some other smaller birds that sit out here. So I'm gonna lose some to some birds, obviously. But there are some catfish. They are getting, so they were about that big. Now they're about that big. I'm telling you what, they've grown in 2 weeks. It's amazing.